Okay guys, this is video solutions for the mid-year review medium level questions. Alright, let's get started. Number 1 says, which of the following sets of lengths could form the sides of a triangle? Choose all that apply. So for this one, you have to recall something called the triangle inequality. The triangle inequality states that if you have 3 sides of a triangle, A, B, and C, where A is the smallest one, B is the medium-sized side, and C is the biggest, then for it to actually be a triangle, we require that the sum of the 2 smallest ones, A plus B, has to end up being bigger than the last one, the remaining side, which is C. So what we have to do is go in and find the 2 smallest sides and see if they add up to be bigger than the third side. So let's look at the first option. We got 5, 9, and 7. 5 and 7 are the 2 shorter sides. 5 plus 7 is bigger than the remaining side, 9. Therefore, this could be a possible triangle. So A works. The 2 smaller sides for option B are 4 and 3. 4 plus 3 is 7, which is smaller than the remaining side. So that means that this could not be a triangle. There's no such thing as a triangle with sides 4, 8, and 3. Side lengths 4, 8, and 3. Okay, the next one we have 11 plus 11 is equal to 22. We need it to be bigger than 22, and it's not. So this will not work. The 2 smaller sides here are 2 and 4, and that is bigger than 5, so this will work. Option E, the 2 smaller sides are 7 and 9, and that is bigger than 12 when you add them together, so this will work. And then the 2 smaller sides here are 8 plus 2, which is equal to 10, so that will not work. It has to be bigger than 10. All right, so the answers are A, D, and E, at least on my screen. Okay, next question. Number 2. In the diagram below, AB is parallel to CD, and GE and GF are drawn. Okay. And then it says measure of angle EFG is 32. EFG, so this is 32 degrees. AEG is 137. AEG, so this is 137. What is EGF? So we're looking for this angle right here. EGF, yeah. Okay, so one way to do this is that this angle in question is inside triangle EGF, which I'm highlighting in green. And all 3 of the angles in there have to add up to 180. That's what we've said about the interior angles of a triangle. All 3 have to add up to 180. Now we can figure out what this one is on the left, because the total angle from here all the way around to the other side of the line has to be a straight angle, which is 180 degrees. So if we do 180 minus 137, which is 43, this angle in here is 43 degrees. So let's just erase some of that stuff and put it in there. So this is 43 degrees. And now we can figure out what this this third angle is by just subtracting from 180. So we're going to do 180 minus the other 2 angles inside the triangle, which are 43 that we just found, and subtract 32. This is the same thing as 180 minus the sum of those 2, which is 75. So this is 180 minus 75, which is 105, which is D. Okay. Question 3. Question 3. We did this recently. I guess for the sake of not making you go look for it in another previous video, I'll just go ahead and do it here. So for this one, it's asking for what value of x will line BD be the perpendicular bisector of segment AC. Well, for BD to be the perpendicular bisector of AC, we would require that this point at the top here, B, is the same distance away from A as it is from C. So we need this distance to be the same as this one, which means that we can set these two expressions equal to each other. Now, they're looking for x, and we could set these two expressions down here equal to each other, but the problem is that on the right, this expression has x, and this one has a. We wouldn't be able to solve an equation where we set these two expressions equal to each other. So first we're going to have to find a by setting the top two expressions equal to each other first. So let's set those two equal to each other. 3a plus 2 equals 5a minus 8. Subtract 3a, this cancels out, and we get 2 equals 2a, minus 8. Then add 8 over here, add 8, this cancels out, 2a equals 10. Divide by 2, a equals 5. Now we can use that information and plug it into an equation using the bottom two expressions. So the bottom two expressions set equal to each other is 2a plus 4 equals 2x minus 4. The issue about not knowing a was solved above in red, so we can plug it in. So we get 2 times a we found was 5 plus 4 equals 2x minus 4. So we get 10 plus 4 equals 2x minus 4. This is 14 equals 2x minus 4. Solving for x, we're going to add 4, this cancels out. 2x equals 18, which implies that x equals 9 after you divide by 2. Okay, number 4. The figure shows triangle ABC. Segment DE connects the midpoints of respective sides AB and BC. So that makes this a mid-segment. This is the midpoint of BC, and this is the midpoint of AB. Which of the statements about the figure is false? So statement A says, DE is parallel to AC. That's true. That's something we learned about mid-segments. They're parallel to the remaining side. B says 2 times DE is AC. That's correct. In other words, we need two of these line segment DE is the same length as just one of AC. So 2 DEs is the same as just 1 AC. So both of these are true, which doesn't answer the question. Let's do D. Let's look at D, which is also true. It says BE is equal to EC. They're saying that this is the same as this, the 2 red marks that I made. That's true because we know by definition this E is the midpoint. Therefore, those 2 halves are equal to each other. Now, what's not true is this, option C. Option C says that BD divided by DA. That's this portion divided by this portion. Those 2 are the same, so BD over DA excuse me, is 1. And then AC over DE, we already know the relationship between AC and DE. AC is twice as big as DE. Therefore, this should be 2. For example, if it was 8 over 4, AC is twice as big as DE, that would simplify to 2. So the answer is C. That's false, because 1 is not the same as 2. Sorry guys, having a coughing attack here. Okay. Question 5. Question 5 says, in the diagram shown, line L is parallel to line M. I don't even see a line L. And lines N and P intersect at a point on line M. Okay. I think this is a poorly worded question. I don't see line L or line N or P. So let's see if there's something wrong with this question. It says, mark the phrase or value that best completes each statement shown. Part A, angle 7 is congruent to angle 5. Okay, so if we just go ahead and assume that these 2 lines are parallel, even though they're giving us all the wrong letters, then 5 and 7, yes, they would be congruent. I mean, actually, the way they worded this is they're saying that they are. We need to tell them why they are, which this A corresponds to this list down here. So we're going to choose one of these options. Yes, so these are congruent, 7 and 5, and the reason is because they are corresponding angles. Okay, part B says the sum of the measures of angles 1, 6, and blank, we have to choose one of these, is equal to 180. Okay, so one way to think about this one is angles 1, 2, and 7 should add up to how much? Well, they form a triangle, so they should add up to 180. Now notice they got angle 1 right here, and they're talking about angle 6, but angle 6 is the same as angle 7 because they're vertical angles. So that means we have 1 and 7. If we choose 2, that'll be the 3 angles of the triangle. That'll add up to 180. So the answer is 2.